Have you ever paused for a moment, just a brief moment, and asked yourself, is this really how I want to live? Not the version of life people expect from you, not the highlight reel you show to the world, but the real one, the quiet truth. Behind your eyes when no one is watching. We grow up learning how to make a living, but no one teaches us how to make a life. We learn how to fit in, but never how to truly connect. We chase success, but forget what it means to be fulfilled. We collect things, but lose pieces of ourselves in the process. This video isn't just another list. It's not empty advice. It's a reflection, a mirror, a journey inward into the thoughts we ignore, the questions we never ask, the truths we fear to face. You're about to hear 50 simple, powerful, and sometimes uncomfortable life truths, whispers of wisdom that could shift the way you think, the way you feel, and maybe even the way you live. Some of these lessons may challenge you. Some may comfort you. Others may feel like they were written just for you. But all of them, every single one, comes from the real experiences of people who've lived, loved, lost, broken down, stood back up, and learned what truly matters in the end. So take a breath, turn the volume up, forget the world for just a few minutes, and give yourself the gift of presence. Because what you're about to hear might not just change your mind, it might change your life. Most people go through life without ever really questioning what they believe. We think our thoughts are us. But the truth is, thoughts are just visitors. They come and go, like waves on the shore. You are not your thoughts. You are the sky. And your thoughts are just the weather. Understanding this changes everything. Suddenly, you don't have to react to every fear, every doubt, or every negative thought. You simply let them pass, like clouds. And while you're watching those thoughts pass, here's something freeing to remember. Nobody is really watching you, not the way you think they are. People are mostly trapped inside their own minds, replaying their worries, regrets, dreams. You are a minor character in their movie. So why live your life trying to impress people who are too busy thinking about themselves? There's a silent trap most people fall into. The love of comfort. Comfort feels good. Soft beds, easy choices. No risks, but comfort, taken too far, becomes the slow death of growth. The most powerful changes in your life will not happen in comfort. They will happen in uncertainty, in difficulty, in pain. Growth lives there. That's where the real you is born. And while we're talking about comfort, let's talk about the most addictive comfort of them all. Your phone. We think we use it, but in truth, it's using us. Every scroll, every like, every swipe, it's feeding the part of you that wants escape. But real life isn't lived in screens. It's in the conversation you never had, the walk you never took, the quiet moment you ignored. Check your screen time. That's your real calendar. Here's something we don't like to admit. Being busy doesn't mean you're doing well. Busyness feels productive, but it can be an illusion. It's easy to fill your day with tasks that don't move your life forward. The question is not, am I busy? It's, am I going in the right direction? A hamster on a wheel is busy, but it's not going anywhere. We often admire people with talent, gifted athletes, smart thinkers, natural artists. But talent is not the secret. Consistency is. The people who become masters are not always the most talented. They are the ones who show up every day, even when they don't feel like it, even when it's hard. Tiny efforts, repeated again and again, create greatness. And if you're afraid of failure, remember this: No one gets through life without falling. Nobody successful avoided failure. In fact, their failures made them. Failure is the tuition you pay for wisdom. What matters is not how many times you fail, but how fast you learn from it and keep moving. You may not remember every word someone says to you, but you will never forget how they made you feel. Kindness has a way of leaving fingerprints on the soul. It doesn't cost much, but it changes everything, especially when it's given without reason. One of the hardest truths to accept is this: you can't change people. You can guide, you can inspire, you can love, but people only change when they choose to. Trying to control others will only leave you exhausted and disappointed. So focus on changing yourself. That's where your real power lives. Asterisk, most people spend years chasing things they don't even want. They wake up one day in their 30s, 40s, or even 60s and realize they were climbing the wrong ladder all along. Success, as defined by others, is a dangerous illusion. The car, the job title, the house, none of it feels good when it's not connected to your soul. Freedom begins when you ask yourself, is this the life I actually want? Not the life that looks good, but the one that feels right. Sometimes the scariest thing you can do is be honest with yourself. Not polite honest, but brutally, uncomfortably honest. About your habits, about your fears, about what you've been avoiding. That honesty is the doorway to real change. It's not pretty, but it's powerful. You see, your mind will lie to you to keep you safe. It will convince you that comfort is better than progress, that staying small is smarter than taking a risk. But your soul doesn't want safety. It wants growth. It wants purpose. And that means stepping into fear, not away from it. The truth is, not everyone will understand your path. Some will mock it. Some will walk away from it. And that's okay. You're not here to be understood by everyone. You're here to be you, fully, freely, unapologetically. You have to stop waiting for permission. There will never be a perfect time. No green light from the sky. The people you admire, they started when it was messy. They didn't have all the answers. They just began. And that's what separates dreamers from doers. Here's a tough pill to swallow. Most of the pain in your life came from ignoring your intuition. You knew. You felt it, but you didn't listen. Next time, trust that inner voice. It doesn't shout. It whispers, and it's almost always right. Sometimes we chase people hoping they'll finally see our worth. But love that has to be begged for isn't love. It's dependency. You don't need to convince someone to stay. The right ones don't need convincing. They just choose you. Many of us carry emotional wounds from childhood, words we heard, love we didn't get, and we carry it into adulthood, wearing masks, pretending we're fine. But healing begins when you stop hiding, when you say, yes, that hurt me, and yes, I want to grow beyond it. Vulnerability is not weakness. It's your rebirth. Forgiveness is not for the person who hurt you. It's for your freedom. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and hoping the other person gets sick. You can release them. You can move forward. You can choose peace. One of the most powerful things you can do is sit in silence. Not with your phone, not with music. Just silence. That's where your real voice lives. That's where your truths rise to the surface. And in that space, you remember who you are before the world told you who to be. Sometimes life will break you. It won't be fair. You'll lose people you love. Things will fall apart. And in those moments, you'll want to quit. But if you can just hold on, if you can just breathe through the storm, a stronger version of you is waiting on the other side. A version you haven't even met yet. We live in a culture of more stuff, more followers, more noise. But real happiness isn't found in addition. It's found in subtraction. What you remove, the clutter, the drama, the ego, creates the space for peace. Minimalism is not about owning less. It's about being owned by less. You don't owe anyone constant access to you. Your energy is precious. You can love people and still set boundaries. You can be kind and still say no. Protecting your peace is not selfish. It's necessary. Here's something we forget. You don't have to explain your healing. You don't have to make your pain look pretty. You are allowed to grow in private, to change silently, to bloom when no one sees you. There will be days when nothing makes sense, days when you question everything. But trust this, even in confusion, you're being guided. Life is not always logical, but it is meaningful, and even the broken pieces serve a purpose. Most people search for change in the loud, dramatic moments, but real transformation, it happens quietly, in the way you talk to yourself in the mirror, in the decision to get up 10 minutes earlier, in the choice to walk away instead of argue. These small shifts, invisible to others, create the life you really want. Sometimes peace feels boring. No drama, no chaos, no adrenaline. And yet, that boring peace is exactly what healing feels like. You realize you no longer want the highs and lows. You want steadiness. You want a life that doesn't need escaping from. Growth doesn't always mean doing more. Sometimes it means doing less, but with more intention. Saying no to things that drain you. Saying yes to rest. Saying nothing when silence is wiser than speaking. This is how strength matures, not in noise, but in knowing. There's a moment in everyone's life where they outgrow their old identity. The clothes, the thoughts, the people, they no longer fit. It feels like falling apart, but really, you're just shedding the version of yourself you've already finished being. You are not breaking down. You are breaking open. We live in a world obsessed with validation, likes, comments, approval. But the deepest kind of peace is when you validate yourself, when you look in the mirror and say, I am enough, even if nobody claps. That's freedom, and freedom is louder than applause. Don't rush the season you're in. Every phase of your life is teaching you something. Even the slow ones, even the ones where nothing seems to be working. Sometimes your only job is to survive, breathe, and trust that growth is happening beneath the surface. You don't have to chase people who walk away. If they leave when you're honest, when you're real, when you're growing, let them. Your growth may be too loud for their comfort, but that's not your problem. Release them with love. Some people are chapters, not endings. One of the strongest things you can ever do is stay soft in a hard world. It's easy to become cold, to build walls, to stop caring, but staying kind, staying open-hearted, that's real courage. Don't let the world steal your softness. So many of us are carrying invisible weight, unspoken grief, quiet anxiety, unhealed memories, and yet we keep smiling, performing, pretending. But what if healing started by simply admitting, I'm not okay, but I want to be? That's not weakness. That's the first step. Not every day has to be productive. Rest is not laziness. Taking care of your body is not optional. It's spiritual. Sleep deeply, eat slowly, walk mindfully. Your body is not a machine. It's a message. Listen to it. Here's something people rarely say. You're allowed to reinvent yourself. Not once, but as many times as you need. Are not a fixed idea. You are a process. And every version of you is allowed to exist, grow, and evolve. Forgive yourself for the years you didn't know better, for the people you tolerated, for the boundaries you didn't set. You were learning, and growth is never graceful. It's messy, it's necessary, but it always leads to wisdom. You don't need to respond to every opinion. Not everyone deserves access to your energy. Silence is powerful. It creates space between stimulus and reaction, and in that space, your peace lives. You're not here to win arguments. You're here to live in alignment. Asterisk, at the end of your life, you won't remember most of what you're worrying about today. You won't care how many people followed you, or how many emails you answered. You'll remember the late-night talks with someone who truly saw you, the quiet walks, the times you laughed until your stomach hurt. That's what matters. Not the noise, but the moments. We're all taught to chase something, status, perfection, success. But no one teaches us to pause, to ask, is this making me feel alive? The truth is, you can build a perfect life on paper and still feel empty on the inside. You see, life isn't measured in years, it's measured in presence. Were you there really there when your child told you that story? When your partner needed your eyes, not just your ears? Most of us live distracted, but it's the undistracted minutes that shape a meaningful life. Happiness is not somewhere you arrive. It's something you carry. It's not in the next relationship, the next country, the next paycheck. It's in how you show up for the life you already have. Right here, right now. Sometimes we act like we'll live forever, but you won't, and neither will the people you love. Call your parents. Say what you've been meaning to say. Don't let ego steal the chance to heal. Letting go isn't giving up. It's choosing peace over control. There will be people who hurt you and never say sorry. There will be doors that close without warning. And your job isn't to chase what's gone. It's to trust what's ahead. You are not behind. You are not too late. Your path is unfolding exactly as it should. Some people take longer to bloom, but when they do, they shine twice as bright. Comparison is poison. It kills your joy. Look at your own path. Water your own garden. Be careful what you postpone. The someday list often becomes the never list. That trip, that book, that apology, that risk, if it matters, don't wait. Fear won't go away. But regret lasts longer. You don't have to have everything figured out to take the next step. Clarity comes from movement, not from sitting still, trying to think your way to a perfect answer. Try, fail, adjust. That's how life unfolds. Many people confuse being liked with being loved, but love is deeper. Love sees the ugly parts and stays. It grows roots. Being liked is pleasant, but being truly seen and still chosen, that's love. Let people leave. Seriously, let them. Not everyone is meant to stay. Some people are lessons. Some people are mirrors. Some are simply passing through to show you who you're becoming. Don't underestimate the power of doing the right thing when no one is watching. Integrity isn't about applause. It's about alignment. It's sleeping well at night because your soul is clean. It's knowing that your actions match your values. Some days you'll feel broken. Some days you'll question everything. But that's okay. You're not meant to feel strong all the time. You're meant to feel everything. That's how you remain human. Be proud of how far you've come, even if you're not where you want to be. You've survived things you never thought you could. You've healed in places that once felt impossible, and you're still showing up. That's strength. And maybe, just maybe, the purpose of life isn't to be impressive, but to be present, to be kind, to leave the world softer than you found it, to live fully, not perfectly, and love deeply, without holding back. You don't need to become someone else to be loved. You don't need to shrink, to edit yourself, or to play small. The right people will love you as you are, not a filtered version, not a performance. Be real, because pretending is exhausting. And real love can't find you if you're hiding behind a mask. We all want to be remembered. But how? Not for your job, not for your achievements, but for your impact, how you made people feel, whether you made them feel safe, whether you reminded them they mattered. Legacy is built in the little moments. Your peace is a form of resistance. In a world that thrives on outrage, staying calm is powerful. In a culture that runs on comparison, choosing self-acceptance is rebellion. Protect your peace like it's sacred, because it is. Love is not always loud. Sometimes it's in the quiet things, making someone a cup of tea, waiting patiently, sitting beside someone in silence when they can't speak. The small gestures carry the deepest weight, and finally, you won't get a second life. Is it this day, this body, this version of you? So forgive fast, love fully, speak honestly, rest deeply, and when it's your time to go, may you go empty, empty of regrets, empty of unspoken words, empty because you lived full,